Hey there, everybody. I'm going to try to be as quiet as I can. I don't know if any of you are up. I am up right now, and it's just about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm at the hospital. I'm with Dustin. We have been dealing with some things for the past couple of days. I haven't really been able to share up until now. Been a long couple of days. I haven't had much sleep, and obviously not getting much sleep tonight because Mommy Alert's on. So here's what's going on. About a month ago, Dustin was not feeling good, and I had mentioned, I think once before, that he had some type of a virus in his stomach. They said it was some kind of a bacteria virus in his stomach, in his intestines. We're not really sure what's going on with why he got that. I know he tends to pick up things off the ground, and I do sanitize his hands and wash them as constantly as I possibly can, but like most autistics, they tend to put their fingers in their faces, so in their mouths. So I don't know if that's what's caused it. I'm kind of opting that's not the issue because he's 22 years old, and he's always done this. And I have never, ever had to put him in the hospital or brought him to the hospital so consistently up until now. So I'm not sure what's going on. As you guys know, the last year was pretty rough. We had those severe migraines, and I got those fixed by putting him on the medical CBD. That's been determined not to be a culprit here. There's something else being contributed. So I did want to bring that to light in case any of you were curious if that was an issue, and that's not. The hospital is well aware that I have done that with Dustin, and if anything, they've kind of commended me for making sure that his headaches went away, and that was the helper. But day before yesterday, Dustin started back up again from the last month with the same symptoms he was getting, where he was not eating, not drinking, vomiting, and of course when he gets not to feeling too good, he gets aggressive. He can't communicate with me. He can't tell me what's going on, so it's kind of to be expected. Unless you're a person living with autism, I don't really expect you to understand, but this is my world, this is my life. He's usually a good boy. I can take him into public places without a problem. So I don't worry about going to places. That's why I started the Autism Welcome decal symbol, because I still feel strongly about that, because I know my son is not going to harm anybody. I'm a bit tired, sorry. So last month I brought him in the hospital because he wasn't eating, wasn't drinking, wasn't eating his favorite foods. McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King, these are his favorite foods. He's not eating. Now normally, if he didn't eat, that's fine. I get that, but, as long as he's drinking something. But when you're not getting your child, my baby, who, even though he's an adult, he's my baby. When he's not drinking, I'm concerned. So he's going to dehydrate at this point. So I brought him into the hospital last month. They said it was because of the bacteria virus. I gave him the medicine the best I could, which, by the way, to a lot of those places out there, hospitals, police departments, lawyers, the government, you guys have got to step it up and recognize these adults with autism. They're being forgotten and disregarded. They sincerely are. My Dustin's no different. And tonight was a perfect example of how it needs to change. And I really hope that this video is going to be shared, and shared with those type of people, because it needs to be. If I have to set the example of this video So be it. Let me be the example. This is what happened. I didn't have anybody to come with me in tonight. I brought Dustin in the day before for the same symptoms I got a month ago. They gave me antibiotics for him in pill form. After I explicitly said, my son may be 22, but he has the mentality of a 3 to 5-year-old. I will do my best to crush those pills and put it in something where I can get him to drink or eat, but it's very difficult to do. Because he is older, the medical will not cover liquid forms as if he were a child, because he's an adult now. So wrong. So wrong. So I didn't have a choice. I had to do what I can. So, same scenario. They give me this stuff to take home with him, and I take him home, and they said if you still had problems to bring him back. Well, we brought him back today. I brought him back today. Mainly because every time I tried crushing up those pills and putting in his drinks, putting in his smoothies, anything I could think of, he was throwing them up just as quick as he was putting them down. So we're right back where we started. Not eating, not drinking, not taking the antibiotics and the medicine he needs to get better. All because they can't give him in a liquid form. And I don't understand why that's such a difficult thing to do. You can put it in their IV, which is liquid, but you can send us home with pills. How are you supposed to help my baby? So I brought Dustin back to the hospital, and this is where the disappointment really rolls in. And I don't want to get anybody angry, but I expect you to at this point, because I know I got angry tonight, and I lost my cool. So I brought Dustin into the ER. I called in advance before I left and told the ER that I was on my way, who I was bringing, that we were just here the day before. He has still got the same symptoms. He was diagnosed yesterday with colitis. Now, if you Google colitis, you're going to find that it's his intestines are inflamed, swelled, and that's what's causing him to not eat, not drink. And did I mention that he can't even go to the bathroom without being in pain? I'm talking a bowel movement to go pee. It's painful. And the boy is crying in pain. What am I supposed to do? So I brought him to the hospital after I was dismissed on the phone in the ER. And I brought him into the ER. Place is packed. Nothing unusual there. I expected it, so I made sure I brought all of his comfy stuff. And I'm the most patient person in the world. Trust me when I tell you, I am the most patient person in the world. But when you wait 3 hours, I can still be patient. But when my son is crying from the time he walks in, and to the point where he has clearly made it apparent that he is in pain, he's getting loud, very loud. And he's loud anyway, but he's excessively loud at this point because he's in so much pain and can't express it to me or to anybody. Everybody in that waiting room, God only knows what they were thinking, saying underneath their breath. And I try not to let it bother me because I really didn't care at the time. I want my baby back. I want him better. So at this point, 3 hours have gone by. And after Dustin starts getting at that point where I know it's coming, I've been with him forever. I know he's getting ready to have a full-fledged meltdown. I got up and I went to the nurse at the front there, and Told her, look, I got all the patience in the world, but I'm telling you, if you guys don't get my son back there ASAP, there's going to be a big, big problem. And it won't be me, it's going to be him. Do you think they listened? No. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard for emergency personnel, police, lawyers, the government? Why is it so hard for you not to listen to moms like me, dads, caregivers? Why is it so hard for you to listen to us and think you know it all? We live with this every day, every second. And we love these guys and girls with all of our heart, because that's our heart, our soul. I will never put my boy in a group home if I can't help it. As long as I can breathe one breath, I will never do that. And I'm not knocking anybody for doing that. Everybody's circumstances are different. But I don't plan on doing that, and that's already been mentioned at this hospital once, solely because he was throwing his head into the wall last year. And I knew it was because of migraines. It wasn't because of an autistic behavior. But they didn't listen, did they? That's why I did it my own way. I took him off the Depakote back then. That's why I put him back. I tried other alternatives and did the CBD. And I was right and they were wrong. Doctors don't know everything. I'm so sorry, you don't. Until you walk in my shoes and you see what it's like every day, you don't know. You need to listen. You guys got to listen with us 100%. Listen to us, our hearts. So, they didn't listen to me. It wasn't but a few minutes later that Dustin threw his head into the wall while we were in the emergency room waiting. Threw his head into the wall. All those people, and the place is packed. And that's what he does because he's in so much pain and can't express it. And all I could do was try to console him and hug him. And nobody's listening to me. Why? It's my baby. I tried so hard to make them listen. I tried to give them fair warning. I gave them as much ample notice, heads up. But all they could say is I was next in line. It took my son to throw his head into the wall, to start hitting his own head, to start biting his own hand, which he hasn't done any of this for almost a year since I had him on the CBD, medical CBD for the migraines. So I know something's wrong. And I tried to hold him and hug him. And instead he bit me. And then he hugs me and said he was sorry. They got somebody out there almost immediately. But it took that to happen. It didn't have to be like that. If they would have listened to me, he wouldn't have hurt himself. I wouldn't have got hurt. But they didn't listen. Why don't they listen? There are so many people out there that are going through these kind of stories. I see it all the time, and it just breaks my heart, and I wish I could do something to help them. But yet I'm going through it myself. And I'm so sorry this video's a long video. But, I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to say. You guys are my therapy, I guess. I can't sleep right now, so I'm talking to you. Hoping that maybe you will share this with the people that it needs to be shared with. Stuff has got to change. My son was born in Arnold Palmer Hospital. That was the best place. I miss that place. But, he doesn't count anymore because he's 18 or older now. How pathetically sad is that? So now I gotta bring him into hospitals that I know they're doing their best, but they can do better. They're supposed to be building a new wing over here. Makes you wonder, is it gonna be for guys like mine, or is it gonna be for the children? They have so many things for the children. What about for our guys who are adults, but still children? What about them? I mean, autism doesn't go away when they turn 18. It just doesn't. And I'm not putting my toddler in a group home. I'm not putting my toddler in a situation where he's not going to be treated fairly. And I see it all the time. I don't want to call the law enforcement on my son for assistance, for help, because I'm worried what they might do to him. How sad is that? I don't want to call anybody because that's not what they're supposed to be there for. They're supposed to be there to help me. And instead, I worry about them putting my son in a situation that I would never dream of. That goes for lawyers. That goes for the government. That goes for the police. It goes for the hospitals. All of these individuals are supposed to be there for everybody, but somehow our special guys and girls like my Dustin with autism have been disregarded, and it is the most saddest thing I could ever think of. This is not a perfect world, but it sure has a lot of improvement to make, and I hope someday, soon, someone's going to help make that change. Maybe you might want to start educating those police departments, every last one of them. You need to educate the hospitals a little bit better. And honestly, a wing in the hospital for autistics or any special needs really is needed. There's no reason I should be sitting 3 hours in a waiting room with my son with autism in that kind of pain and being subjected to the looks and stares and the comments that I know I heard but had to disregard because my son was more important. No need for it. I put that symbol into those everyday places. Yeah, hospital needs it. A lot of places need that symbol because I surely did not feel welcomed at all. I pretty much had a demand for my son to be staying here overnight because there's no way I'm taking him back home. They need to fix my boy, and I'm standing my ground. Fix my boy, fix him now, find out what's wrong. And it was hard because he didn't want to stay the night, so I had to make sure that they gave him something to sleep a little bit, which is probably a good thing because the poor thing hasn't slept in days. I haven't slept in days, and I don't know that I'm going to sleep too much tonight, but I can't. This has been such an ordeal, and I'm so tired, but I'm just so disappointed, worried, and I'm worried that if I go to sleep, he's going to wake up and find he's not at home, and I don't know what I'm going to be in for. So I'm on mommy alert, got my coffee, and my Dustin is sleeping. And yeah, we have Emmy with us. Thank God for that. So, anyway, that's what's going on, everybody. I am sorry I didn't give you a video update earlier, but obviously a change of plans. I had to come back to the hospital. So I will talk to everybody later, and keep me in your prayers and thoughts. Thank you for all the wonderful comments, and I do appreciate it. And if I don't make myself known too much here lately on Facebook, it's obviously because I'm a mom just like you guys who are watching me and following me. And I have to think of my Dustin right now. But I will do what I can to get back with everybody and get my smile back, but right now it's a little difficult. So just want to let everybody know that I'm hanging in there, and I'll keep you updated on Dustin's progress. But for now, we're waiting for a gastro specialist to come in the morning, and we'll see what the next step's going to be. In the meantime, good night. Talk to you soon.